So with that, another Monday edition of Bet is upon us. Tyler Fulghum and Anita Marks, the prop prince and the prop queen, ready to do the damn thing. We, of course, are going to dive into a Monday Night Football NFC West matchup. Rams and Niners. Our guy Mike T will join the show. Our guy The Bear will hop on from the Bear Cave. We're going to talk a little NBA to close things out. But Anita, as you well know, we get started with a little reaction or no action. A reminder, if you want to catch all of our gambling content, ESPN's YouTube channel on the screen right there. There's the address. That's how you can find it. It goes beyond what we do here on Bet. Content from our Daily Wager show and anything regarding betting that you find on an ESPN platform, you will find there. So go check it out after you're done watching Anita and I. By the way, Miss Marks, the shirt, chef's kiss, got the Cooper Cup swag on today. I love seeing that.
I do have the Cooper Cup. Please know that every single day I'm checking in with 500 level to see if they get the Von Miller shirt in, because the minute that it hits, Tyler, I'm sending it to Vegas for you to wear on one of the shows. Just know that. Every day I check in for the Von Miller t-shirt. Just so you know.
Couldn't love you any more than I do, Anita Marks. All right, let's get it started with reaction or no action. That's how we love to start a Monday edition of Bet here. You see it on your screen. The New England Patriots coming off another beatdown, this time of the Cleveland Browns, will finish with a better record than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. New England 6-4, Bucs 6-3. Reaction or no action?
Oh, man, I have to have reaction here, Tyler. You know Mac Jones is my guy. I was screaming from the mountaintops. The New York Jets don't draft Zach Wilson. Get Kyle Pitts and Mac Jones. They didn't listen to me. Look at them now. What's happening? So I have to go reaction here. Listen, they're 6-4, and I can see them possibly winning 10 or 11 games. Follow me. They're at Atlanta. I think they win this week. The Titans, okay, their defense is better, but I still think they've got a chance. The Colts, the Bills, I know they faced twice, but then they've got the Jags and the Dolphins. As for the Bucs, they're 6-3. They possibly can go 9-10. Tom Brady didn't look great this week. They've got the Colts, they've got the Bills, they got the Saints, they got the Panthers twice. They're playing teams that could get after Tom Brady, and we all know, Tyler, he doesn't like to get touched.
No, pressure is the kryptonite for Tom Brady, especially when it comes from the middle of that defensive line. I'm not with you, though, on this one. It's no action for me. Listen, your boy Mac Jones, he's been great. The respect I have for Bill Belichick and what he's done is obvious. But I think when I looked at the remaining schedule, I like Tampa Bay's a little bit more. Plus, they have a game to work with in the loss column, as they're not yet to 4, although both teams have 6 wins. I will say this, and this is often one of the most predictive stats when it comes to how good a team actually is. Only the Buffalo Bills have a higher point differential this season than the New England Patriots. So I think the Patriots can get to 10 wins. I just think the Bucs will get to 11 or 12 based on what I see with the remaining schedule. A difference there of opinion. I'm no action, your reaction. We'll see how it all plays out. Now, there's no doubt about it. Both these teams are going to have a much better record this season than the Detroit Lions, who, hey, they're not going to finish 0-17. Can't do that when you tie the Pittsburgh Steelers on a Sunday. So maybe 0-16-1, but at least they do have a non-loss on their ledger. Reaction or no action, Detroit will win 2 games this season at the very least, Anita.
Listen, I had them with the points this week against Pittsburgh. I think it was a very unique situation considering Ben Roethlisberger was out and Watt got injured during the game. So no action for me here. Listen, if you want to take action on it, they're going up against maybe the Bears, maybe the Atlanta Falcons, maybe. I'm curious to get your thoughts on this, but no action for me. And oh, by the way, Goff injured, had an oblique injury during the game, played through it. We'll see if he continues to start, but no action for me right now, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm the same. No action. They're not going to be favored in any game the rest of this season. There's just a talent deficiency there that only I think the Houston Texans are a team that they could beat in the NFL this season. So I know they're playing hard. I know they've done all right against the spread and obviously covered on Sunday against Mason Rudolph and the Pittsburgh Steelers. In Pittsburgh, almost won that game, taking it to overtime. But I do not see 2 wins on that schedule for the Detroit Lions at all. No action from me. You brought up what if Green Bay in Week 18 has already sewed up the division and or the 1 seed in the NFC.
Ooh.
They would obviously rest a lot of people, and maybe that would be a spot where the Detroit Lions could find a win, but I don't see more than 1, and I don't even really see 1. So if I just kind of play the percentages and probabilities, they luck into 1, I think that's absolutely it. So no action for me. We agree there. Let's move to Cam Newton back with the Carolina Panthers, accounting for 2 touchdowns.
I'm
the
back!
Right. Rip that helmet off. The penalty, I'm sure Matt Rule didn't like, but he announced his presence to the Panthers fans down in Arizona, who saw his Carolina team win 34-10 over the team that had the best record in the NFL entering Week 10 action. Cam Newton will have more TDs than Sam Darnold by the end of this year. Reaction or no action?
I'm going reaction here, and as obnoxious as that was, right? Like, I'm bad. Like it's so obnoxious. I'm going reaction here. Why not, right? Like, we saw what he can do. He just can't score touchdowns with his arm. He could throw. He could score touchdowns with his legs as well. As he said, he's been sitting home eating cereal for the last few weeks. He's rested. He's revving. He's gearing to go. He's going up against Washington, the Dolphins, Atlanta, and he's expected to start next week. So reaction here, yeah, I'll put money on this. I think he can.
I agree. Reaction for me. You know he's going to be used. Whether he's starting or not, which it looks like he's going to take all the starter snaps this week to prepare to be the starter the rest of the way. Darnold played so poorly the last 4 weeks, not really accounting for anything in terms of putting the ball in the paint. Cam already has 2. And he's such a great goal line weapon. He could score 5 or 6 touchdowns with his legs alone, and then anything he adds with his arm on top of that can't be worse than what Sam Darnold was doing there. You mentioned that he was on the couch eating cereal last week. I got to take a quick aside. Anita, you have 1 bowl of cereal to eat for the rest of your life. What are you pouring in that bowl?
Dude, Golden Grams! Golden Grams are like no doubt, I lived on Golden Grams through college.
I don't know what Cam was eating. I like Golden Grams. They used to make another type of Golden Graham called S'mores Grams, where chocolate was swirled into the graham cracker and there's really tiny marshmallows. I loved those when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I'm a classic CTC, Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy. Give me a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, some cold milk. I'm going to drink that cinnamon milk afterwards. That's the bowl that I love. All right, I'll give you the fist pound on that CTC there, sister. All right, let's bring in our GM here. I don't know what kind of bowl of cereal Mike Tannenbaum prefers. Mike T, are you a Cinnamon Toast Crunch Golden Grams guy? What do you eat before you make all these winning Monday Night Football bets is what I want to know.
If I told you I have to kill you, that's part of my secret formula.
We'll get to Fair enough. Fair enough. Mike T, will get to your white-hot Monday Night Football record in just a bit, but let's start with this. The Bills are now the Vegas favorite to win the Super Bowl at 6-1, but they're not even the best team in their own conference. Playing the most difficult schedule in the entire NFL this season, the Tennessee Titans are 8-2, and right now the 1 seed in the AFC. Where do you slot this Tennessee team in your overall NFL power rankings? Because Buffalo has like these analytics that say they're the best in the AFC. It seems like the next 4 or 5 teams might be from the NFC. Where does Tennessee fall in your eyes?
Yeah, no, they're a top 5 team. I think they have a real chance to get to the Super Bowl. They're about the 3rd best team for me right now, guys. And they've won 6 in a row, and the last 5 of those 6 have been against teams that went to the playoffs last year. And if you think about it, their last 2 wins have been against teams that when they didn't have Derrick Henry, and most notably against the Rams. So I think they're well balanced, well coached, and I think they're going to be a really tough out in the AFC.
All right. Very interesting. We heard Najee Harris come out this week, and he even said, Mike, he didn't even know there was overtime and that a team could tie in the NFL, which is mind-blowing to me. But that leads to my next question, and that is, what's more frustrating to you? The taunting penalties in the NFL or the fact that You can kiss your sister. You can tie in the NFL. What's more frustrating?
I mean, come on, Anita. You know, after what happened to me last week, that freaking taunting call, Chicago was going to beat Pittsburgh, and that BS taunting call. So it's taunting, taunting, taunting.
Okay, the taunting worse than the ties. A good question, though, because a lot of people, Najee Harris didn't know, like Donovan McNabb, that you could do it. Now I bet Najee certainly knows. All right, Mike T, let's get to Monday Night Football. Rams and Niners. Rams laying 3.5 on the road, a total of 50.5. We will let the people know through 9 weeks of Monday Night Football, you are 8-1 picking sides in this ESPN primetime matchup. So, Are you going to lay it with the Rams or take the home dog tonight?
Going the home dog. If you go back to that Tennessee Ram game, I thought Tennessee did a really good job of controlling the line of scrimmage. They ran it good enough. They threw it good enough. They were balanced. And I thought they were the more physical team. And San Francisco has been disappointing this year, guys. But I do think they're better up front on both sides of the ball. And I think that's the difference in the game. Despite adding Von Miller, despite adding OBJ, I think the 49ers are better up front on both sides of the ball. And I expect them to win tonight.
All right, Mike T, Odell Beckham Jr., he didn't get his 13, he got his 3, and he's going to be active. We'll see how attractive he's going to be tonight. Here are his prop bets. Over under 32.5 receiving yards, over under 17.5 as his longest reception. Any of these prop bets are tempting to you. Would you play either of them tonight?
Yeah, I play them both the same way. I go under on both. And OBJ just hasn't been the same player since he's left the Giants. And that doesn't mean he won't make some explosive plays for the Rams, because I think he will. But as our own Lisa Salter reported earlier today, guys, he only took 2 reps at full speed with Matthew Stafford. So I think it's going to take some time. I think he'll be helpful. I just don't think there's going to be a lot of action going his way tonight, because I think there's going to be an acclimation period. So I would go under on either of those props, Anita.
All right, Mike T going under with OBJ and trying to move to 9-1, picking a side on Monday Night Football. He has taken the home dog, the 3.5-point head start with the 49ers. Mike Tannenbaum joining us always on a Monday. We appreciate it, Mike T.
All right, thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
I just got to know, though, what kind of cereal he's having in the morning. By the way, Anita, are you milk first or cereal first in your bowl? Because I think it says a lot about you depending on which way you prefer.
Cereal first, because I don't like a lot of milk. So I have to adjust. I have to gauge my milk intake in regard to how my cereal is sitting in the bowl.
There's a certain place in you-know-where for those who put milk in their bowl first rather than the cereal. I'll just leave it at that. So probably a little something off, a little screwy in the head if you're a milk first in the bowl of cereal. All
is
right,
that a Joe Fortenbaugh thing? Is that a Joe Fortenbaugh? I feel like that's a Joe Fortenbaugh thing.
You know,
I just have a feeling.
He's different enough.
It's a Joe Epps thing.
He's different enough to do that. I can't confirm. I can neither confirm nor deny. I've never
deny
and had a bowl of cereal with Fortenbaugh before, but I'll make sure to ask him when he's back in the studio on Wednesday. All right, let's get down to the nitty-gritty with this Monday night affair. I hated hearing it as a Ram fan, especially with the way that Mike T has been so hot picking Monday Night Football. I'm on the Rams side here, and I understand the concerns that Mike T brings to the table. I just think the strengths of the Rams offense match up with the weaknesses of the San Francisco 49ers defense and vice versa. The Rams, highly explosive, passing the football. And now, even without Robert Woods, they have Odell Beckham Jr., who brings, we think, some juice to that passing attack. The Niners can get after the quarterback a little bit and stop the run, but their secondary's been awful, especially getting torched on explosive passing plays. And lo and behold, the Rams have the #1 explosive passing offense in the NFL. On the other side, Jimmy Garoppolo is a pressure-sensitive quarterback. And Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, maybe Von Miller, this is a team that's #1 in the NFL in sacks and #1 in pressure rate coming into this game. The Niners lost starting right tackle Mike McGlinchey. Now, Trent Williams is still a beast on the left side, but if I'm Raheem Morris, I'm going at the backup of Mike McGlinchey time after time after time, trying to get in Jimmy G's face and disrupt his timing, because he's not someone who's going to beat you with his legs if he sees pressure in his face. So I reluctantly lay the 3.5 with the Rams, even though that probably all but assures that the Niners win this game outright since Mike T's on that side. What say you?
Come on, have faith. Have faith. agree, Tyler. I'm with you. I like the Rams -3.5. Listen, I've been looking for the Rams to get them at -3. I can't find them anywhere. You want to lay the juice, you could get the -2.5 at -140, -160. Fine. I love the under here. It's probably my favorite play is the under at 50.5. All the reasons you said. Even if the Rams did not sign Odell Beckham Jr., I still like them tonight. You've got a 49ers team. They have the worst turnover margin in the NFL, and Jimmy Garoppolo under pressure, 18% completion percentage within the 10-yard line. So as long as Matthew Stafford doesn't throw 2 picks that ends up returning the opponent with 14 points, I love the Rams and I love the under. You mentioned some injuries to the offensive line for the 49ers. Everybody's talking about Darnold and everybody's talking about Von Miller. Does he play tonight? But don't sleep on Leonard Floyd. Dude's got over 6 sacks so far this season. And if there's a prop bet, I know we're going to get into prop bets for a second, but if we get into defensive prop bets, man, I love Floyd tonight really getting after Jimmy G.
I'm with you on the total. I'd play the under as well, thinking that the Rams defense can limit the Niners offense. And the Rams offense itself, going through this transition, may not be its most efficient version of itself. All right, now to the nitty-gritty. Prop Queen and Prop Prince. The floor is yours. You said you have the typical Cheesecake Factory of prop plays. Lay them on me, Anita.
I do. Okay, so let's start with the Rams. Rams prop bets. I like Stafford over passing yards, and you could get that at 285.5. Cooper Kupp, I'm wearing his T-shirt for a reason. I still think he gets the lion's share of targets, over 7.5 receptions, and I am going all in, baby, on Van Jefferson. He now becomes the number 2 wide receiver in that offense. Over receptions, over receiving yards. I like over longest reception at 19.5. I also like anytime touchdown. Give me all on Van Jefferson. As for the 49ers, Jimmy G tossing an interception. He's going to be under duress and pressure all night long. And Elijah Mitchell under 80.5 rushing and receiving yards as well. As you pointed out earlier, Tyler, this is a Rams team best rushing defense in the NFL. So.
All right, my prop list has got 3 plays on it. I'm going to start on the Niners side with Eli Mitchell going over 14.5 rushes. I think the way to attack the Rams if you're the 49ers, don't put the ball in Jimmy G's hand. Play to your strength. Run behind Trent Williams, that big road grader, and feed Eli Mitchell. No JaMychal Hasty kind of solidifies his role as the 1A back in terms of getting touches. Van Jefferson, I'm with you. I think he now fills into that Robert Woods role, and Woods is getting 8 targets, averaging 60 receiving yards per game. I think that's what we can now kind of make the baseline for Van Jefferson, and I'll bite on Odell Beckham Jr. having at least 1 catch that goes 18 yards. And I'm going to predict it's going to be a long inside dig. It'll be Jefferson or Cooper Kupp taking the safety deep, and then on a long 15-yard dig, Matt Stafford hits him over the middle. He gets a few yards after the catch, creating separation from the defender, and turns it into a 20, 25-yard reception. So I'm going to play over there. Again, going against Mike T. Probably not wise. Probably not wise at all. But I'm going to do it here as the resident Ram fan. All right, Anita, it's time. I heard your dogs barking a little bit. Now, they're a little smaller, okay? When we play big dog, little dog here on Bet, your dogs qualify as little dogs. But in the NFL, big dogs have been letting out a roar, 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 roar as of late. I mean, you go back to a week ago, you saw the Titans, you saw the Broncos, you saw the Jets get wins as 7 or more point underdogs. Largest upsets this season by point spread. Jacksonville beating Buffalo, the Jets beating Cincinnati, Washington this week against Tampa Bay, Miami on Thursday against Baltimore. So I want to look ahead to week 11, Anita. Here are 4 potential options on the slate. Teams that are touchdown or more underdogs, big dogs in the NFL. They're all road teams, but you have the Giants at Tampa, Houston at the Titans, Lions at Cleveland, and Colts at Buffalo. Any of those worthy of a little sprinkle as a big dog that can bite in week 11?
Yeah, listen, give me the New York Football Giants, right? Like, I liked them a few weeks back, if you recall, Tyler, when they went to Kansas City. I picked them on the money line. Of course, they came close. No cigar, but they did cover. Now they're coming off of a bye. They're going up against the Bucs. Joe Judge is their head coach. Joe Judge spent plenty of years with the Patriots. He knows Tom Brady extremely well. Also, look at what Tyler Heinicke was able to do against the Bucs. 85% completion percentage. He had 13 first downs, and you've got a Giants team that is coming off of a bye. So out of all of those dogs, I'd lay some money on the Giants on the money line. There's something wrong with this Bucs team right now, right? Like, Tom Brady doesn't look like himself. They lost some big-time players on the defensive side of the ball, and they've lost 2 in a row already. So I've got my eye on the Giants, man. I've got my eye on the Giants.
You make some compelling points there, and anytime you're talking about the Giants, I'm listening to Anita, no doubt about it. But right now, my lean would probably be to the Colts just because they're the best team. Jonathan Taylor is an absolute beast. Carson Wentz and Michael Pittman have been playing better. And the Bills have shown us, they can be a team that is very inconsistent, looking great one week and then throwing out a dud the next week. They've also lost at home to the Pittsburgh Steelers this season. So I'd probably lean Colts. I'd think about the Lions as well if there's going to be no Nick Chubb, no Kareem Hunt, and all those injury situations for the Cleveland Browns next week against a Lions team. Doesn't have a win, but they have been plucky. All right, Anita Marks, take a quick break. With your Cooper Kupp shirt, we're going to go to the Bear Cave now and talk some college football. Chris Felica joining us, and it looks like he's rocking a Stanford Steve look there with the blazer on top of it. Is that a UTSA Roadrunner shirt you got?
Absolutely. We got to give a little respect to the third undefeated team remaining in the country, the team that never gets talked about. So beep beep, Roadrunners.
Beep beep. Also 8-2 ATS, tied for best record against the spread this season is UTSA. All right, let's dive into 3 weeks. We are 3 weeks, I should say, away from the final college football ranking coming out December 5th. Michigan State could play spoiler to Ohio State this season. When they match up this week, Ohio State laying 19.5 at home against Michigan State. A big total of 68. Buckeyes, how you playing this? Are you on the Buckeye side, or do you think Michigan State's the proper play here?
If I had to play a side of the game, I would lay the points with Ohio State. But I think Michigan State ultimately can score some points. I think the way to approach this game is playing the Ohio State team total over. I don't know what it is right now. I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere around 40 based on the spread and the total of the game. But look, this is a Michigan State team which is dead last in the country in passing yards allowed. This is an Ohio State team that leads the nation in offensive efficiency and have 3 NFL wide receivers and probably more who are still on the bench. I have a hard time seeing Michigan State keeping this Ohio State offense under control. So Ohio State will score and score and score. It's a question of whether it's enough to cover that 19.5, but I would play Ohio State team total over as my top play in this game.
All right, Bear, if the Pac-12 wants to make it to the college football playoff, Oregon has to keep on winning. They're a team that's knocked off Ohio State in the shoe this season, but take a look at this interesting line. Oregon, number 3 in the college football playoff ranking, going to Utah this week, and they are catching 3 points. Oregon, a 3-point dog against this Utah team. What do we do with this line?
And Oregon was an underdog at UCLA as well. So it's clear that the odds makers don't have a ton of respect for the Ducks, but I love the matchup here for Oregon. I like the Ducks in this game. Utah does not have a dynamic, high-speed, high-tempo, deep passing attack. I think that's going to hurt Oregon. This is a game in the trenches, and up front on both sides of the ball, Oregon is as good as anybody in the country on the defensive line and on the offensive line in the trenches. So I like the way this game favors Oregon matchup-wise. Special teams too. Usually Utah has an edge in special teams, but in this game, they do not. The return units of Oregon, I believe, are better. So while Utah is a slight home favorite, I can see a lot of people gravitating towards the Ducks because I don't think people think Oregon is that good. But I love Oregon here.
All right, let's stay in the Pac-12. Battle of the City of Angels, SC and UCLA. Now, SC had a bonus bye week as their game against Cal got canceled due to COVID reasons. UCLA, though, a 3-point favorite at USC. Can the Trojans spring the upset here, you think?
Why is this only 3? Like, is Drake London magically going to be able to play? He's healing up right now from a severe injury. Is USC suddenly going to find a backbone to play physical and tough in the trenches against UCLA and that offensive line and that running game? I think this number is way too low. I think UCLA wins this game easily.
All right, finally we'll go to the ACC, where two of the most surprising teams this season, for very different reasons on the spectrum, are Clemson and Wake Forest. Now, Clemson has probably been the most disappointing team in all of college football this season. They're taking on Wake, one of the more surprising teams this season, looking for their 10th win of the year. Clemson, been awful ATS, a 3.5-point favorite. Would you back Dabo's crew here or take the points with the Demon Deacons?
I would back Dabo's team here and lay the points. I think since Shipley has gotten healthy, their offense has been a whole lot better. I think that they should be able to just simply run the ball on Wake Forest, and that will be good enough. Wake had that big win against NC State last week, but I just don't know if the Clemson defense is a really good matchup for them to be able to go up and down the field. Despite all of the issues that Clemson has had this year, mostly on the offensive side of the football, their defense has played very, very well, and I think Wake Forest is going to have a hard time going to Clemson, scoring a bunch of points. So I would hesitantly back Clemson here.
Never hesitate to take a peek into the Bear Cave and join Chris Felica on a Monday edition of
By the way, who puts milk in their cereal before their cereal? I mean, seriously?
Serial killers, probably. People who belong locked up somewhere.
Unbelievable.
Well, Bear,
cereal first, then the milk.
Sounds like you're a connoisseur. What is your cereal of choice if you had one bowl for the rest of your life?
I'm a Lucky Charms. What I do is I mix a little Lucky Charms with Frosted Flakes, and that gives you a really good sugar. Crackling Oat Bran is very good as well. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So yeah, we're in that range. But yeah, during the pandemic, it was buy a big box of Frosted Flakes, buy a bag of Lucky Charms marshmallows from Amazon, and just put them together. And that seemed to be the breakfast of champions for about a year and a half.
Bear, I knew I liked you thinking outside the box, baby. It doesn't have to be one brand of cereal. I like to mix and match brands, like I'm at the soda fountain making a suicide, and then pour that cold milk in there and have a lovely day. Always lovely having you, Chris Felica, the Bear, here on Bet. We'll talk to you next Monday.
Take care, Tyler.
All right, Anita, what do you think of that? A couple different boxes of cereal from Bear. I like the way he's thinking here. Chess when everyone else is playing checkers.
Frosted Flakes? They're great!
Okay, Tony, the Tiger, I hear you over there. All right, real quickly, we got to talk NBA. It's a busy 11-game, I believe, Monday slate in the association. A couple of headline games to look at. How about the league's MVP, Nikola Jokic? Nuggets keep winning despite the injuries they've had to deal with. They're on the road against Luka Doncic and the Mavs. Mavs laying 5.5, low total of 209. Anything stand out to you in this matchup?
I know it's a low total, but I'm taking it, and I'm going under here. Listen, both these teams, a very slow-paced, methodical offense, half-court offense. They both have really good defense. Denver, they're the second-best defense in the NBA. Teams are averaging less than 100 points in a game against them. No Murray, no Porter Jr. KP, good defense inside the paint. Dallas, second game of a back-to-back. And Dallas, their unders have hit 8-4 so far this season. So I know it's a low total, but I'm still taking the under tonight.
Yeah, that's the way I would lean on the total as well. I'm going to back the underdog here, the Denver Nuggets. They're 9-4 this season, Anita, which is the third best record in the Western Conference. And they've done that without Jamal Murray the whole season. Jokic being suspended for a game. Michael Porter Jr. now out of the lineup. Even when he was playing, he was underachieving. Michael Malone has done a great job there. I actually think I'll sprinkle some on the money line at plus 175 because Jokic has been that good, and there is no one on Dallas who's going to be able to stop the league's MVP. So if there's an off night from Porzingis or Doncic, the scrappy Nuggets team, I think, can go to Dallas and get an outright victory, plus 175 on the money line. Finally, our last game of the night to discuss at Staples Center, the Lakers welcoming the Bulls into town. It's a revenge game for Alex Caruso. Still no LeBron. He's on the shelf. The Bulls are actually favored by a point with a total of 216.5. That's been crashing throughout the day. How you playing this?
I love the Bulls. It's a great day when the Bulls are relevant in the NBA again. So give me the Bulls. I also like the over here at 219 and Zach LaVine over points at 25.5. The fewest he's scored all season is 22. As you said, LeBron is out. Westbrook is still struggling. And both these teams are in the second game of a back-to-back. So give me the Bulls tonight at the Staples Center.
I'm going to play Russ Westbrook under 18.5 points. He's going to see the defense of Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso. He's already an inefficient player. I think if any Laker's going to go off, it's going to be Anthony Davis. He can have his assists, he can have his rebounds, but I don't think he's going to get to 19 points. Russell Westbrook under 18.5. All right, that'll do it for another Monday edition of Bet. She is Anita Marks. I am Tyler Fulghum. Thanks again to Mike T and the Bear, Chris Felico. We will see you back here on Thursday. Enjoy Monday Night Football tonight on ESPN.